Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the DeFi landscape, the SEC decides to take one last stab before the halving at bringing the entire cryptocurrency market down. That's right, if you've been under a rock, you won't know, but the SEC is going after Uniswap. In this video, I'm going to try and break down simply what is going on. Ultimately, should you be worried? And what the hell is the market going to do after this? All of that in this video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let's get straight into it. So we got some breaking news earlier on that the ultimate SEC had issued a Wells notice to Uniswap. Now, understanding what a Wells notice is, it is an intention to sue. They are ultimately claiming that they have violated a securities law and are therefore going to go after them. Now, the actual Wells notice we haven't seen yet. We don't know the full extent to it, but it says here, the US Securities and Exchange Commission has issued a Wells notice to Uniswap, the leading platform of decentralized finance, informing that it intends to sue the company. Now, pretty interesting. Give you an idea of exactly what they're dealing with. Uniswap right now with a TVL of $5.18 billion, with over $1.58 billion worth of volume. Ethereum taking the big chunk of over $2.22 billion. Now, is that the reason that the SEC is going after them? But Uniswap is a massive platform. And this is the kind of crazy thing. Given the fact we're moving into the halving, given the fact there's a lot to come, it is interesting that now the SEC decides to go after Uniswap. Now, Uniswap trading about $10. We've seen a pretty heavy correction of just under 10% on this news, as we saw with XRP, Matic, where they were all deemed as securities and ultimately, therefore, the sales of the securities. Now, if you take a look at Wells notice, here is the literal definition. It says a Wells notice is a letter that the US Securities and Exchange Commission sends to people or firms at the conclusion of an SEC investigation that states that the SEC is planning to bring an enforcement action against them. The notice informs the people or the firm in question that the SEC has concluded that they should be charged with a violation of securities law. You might be thinking, well, what is that? Well, here are some of the regulations that could ultimately be what they're going after. Money laundering, capital requirements, bank regulations, Basel codes, international finance reporting, fund governance, reserve requirements, and many, many more. These are all the types of regulation that ultimately the SEC will be trying to go after Uniswap. Now, given the fact of how big Uniswap is, it is pretty interesting that they decide to go after them. And ultimately, given the massive amount of money that is flowing through Uniswap. What is hilarious, though, is the market simply doesn't care. Bitcoin just about to break $71,000. And I think for me, this is a desperate attempt, once again, to control the markets. We obviously saw them release the ETFs onto the cryptocurrency market. And now, well, ultimately, they've gone after Coinbase, they've gone after Kraken, they've gone after many others. This feels like the last-ditch effort to go after DeFi, go after decentralized finance, non-custodial wallets, everything chucked into one. Feels like the SEC have an agenda. Now, we're waiting for a statement to come out from maybe Gary Gensler or anyone over there. We don't even have it on their website. When you take a look at the SEC government website, there's nothing specifically on there about Uniswap, but should you be worried? That's the big question right now. Well, like I said, the market simply doesn't care. Yes, Uniswap's down about 10%. We saw it with, like I said, XRP and Matic, but overall, the wider cryptocurrency market doesn't care. Bitcoin ETFs are still absolutely popping off. We even had the CEO of Grayscale giving his view that they will soon stop dumping their Bitcoin, and we could then start to see a real rally. The Bitcoin halving in now 8.5 days all signifies a very bullish momentum in the market. And me personally, I feel that's why the SEC has done what it's done. It's trying to cool the markets. We weren't expecting to be this high. We weren't expecting to have such aggressiveness in the market. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Given the amount of regulation that sits or that they want to enforce on the markets, given the fact that ultimately Uniswap has a massive, massive platform, that's what I think they're doing. Now, we did get a quote officially from the team at Uniswap, ultimately saying, "I am not surprised. I'm just angry, frustrated, and ready to fight. I'm confident that the products we offer are legal and that our work is on the right side of history. But it has been clear for some time that the SEC has decided to focus on attacking long-time, well-intentioned organizations like Uniswap and Coinbase, rather than working to create clear and informed rules. All the while bad actors like FTX were turned a blind eye. This fight will take years, could go all the way to the Supreme Court, and the future of financial technology in our industry hangs in the balance. If we are together, we can win." And I think we've got a pretty interesting moment coming up with XRP, as well as the Coinbase case and everything else. So I think Uniswap will just be another one to add to the back of the list that ultimately the SEC can just hang like a cloud over the sentiment of DeFi. Let me know what you think in the comments of all of this. Do you think Gary Gensler is going after Uniswap for the right reasons, or do you think he's just bored? Let me know, as always, in the comments down below. And if you want to check out some of the links down in the channel, it does help out massively. But until next time, hit that subscribe button, smash a like on this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.